Hello, and welcome to the Lucy Liu Show, the fueling station for your mind, business, and life. And now, here's your host, Lucy Liu.
Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to another episode on the Lucy Liu Show. Today we have a super fun episode with Emmy Cornwell. Emmy is an Instagram biz expert who helps online business owners generate more leads and cash all by using Instagram alone. I had a fun conversation with Emmy and we discussed all the ins and outs of Instagram nowadays, how we can increase our story views, or reasons why you're not making money on the gram. So you definitely want to tune in. And if you stay until the end, you hear about her amazing freebie in which I actually learned a lot from. So let's get right into it. Welcome to the show, Emmy.
Hey, what's going on? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much, Lucy, for having me.
I love your Instagram. Like every time I see your feed or story pop up on my wall, I'm just like, I love this girl. So, hey, Amy. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. That is actually intentional. So I'm glad that you have those emotions and feelings when you come and hang out with me on Instagram, because I am a giver of joy and I want people to feel joy and amazing and courage and bravery and worthiness and confidence and success when they come to my page. So I'm so glad that you always have a good time when you hang out with me.
So I'm a little behind on using all of the IG features. And I know you're really good in IG stories. And I know you use a lot of different features such as stickers, polls, and GIFs and all over the place. And tell us about why.
Yeah, great question. Engagement stickers are so fun. But first and foremost, as an Instagram biz expert, I'm going to be able to bring you the information that you need that's most relevant to what you should be using. If you're, you could be using gifts and engagement stickers for fun if your account's personal, but maybe you have a business and you want to use Instagram, specifically stories, to sell more, then you do want to be using these engagement stickers. So all the features that Instagram gives you, like I geek out on knowing like what is the latest and greatest that you should be using, because I don't have time. I'm really low tech. I know Lucy and I were talking about this. And so anything that I'm going to recommend for you is usually done within the Instagram app itself. And you don't have to be like a tech nerd, but you have to be using the Instagram features that they give you. And so engagement stickers is right there in your app. It's a way for you to do exactly what it says, engage with people. And if you're looking to grow your account, now you're going to have to do more than just show up in your stories. The growth actually happens in other parts of the Instagram. But when you're engaging with people in your stories, that's where you're developing the know, like, trust factor, that intimacy that ultimately will help you cash in on the gram more for your business. And it's fun. And like I like to say, if you're not having fun, you're definitely not doing it right.
Oh, absolutely. And this is what I preach to my clients as well. While you're growing your business, let that income be the byproduct. It's all about having fun along the way. And this is our life. We get to design it how we want to live our life, right?
Absolutely. So have fun with those engagement stickers. A money hit. I like to give money hits, which are actionable items for you to take on your business. And a money hit would be the best engagement stickers to use right now that are getting the most conversion, if you will, are the polls. And I like to have both positive options. So like, heck yes, or yes, please, the quiz sticker, and then also the slider feature. Those are the three engagement stickers. The question one is really quite hard to get responses from, because that's a very vulnerable thing for someone to do, is to share their response. It may seem easy to you and I as business owners, but to ask someone a question and for them to really have free form of how they're going to answer it is quite vulnerable. So the more you show up on video, the more you use these stickers to engage with your audience, the more comfortable they will feel with answering those questions and engaging with you back and having those conversations. That's where the cash is. Conversations equals cash.
I heard before that the longer someone stays on your stories, the more often Instagram will show them your stories. And obviously, the algorithm always changes. Is that still true today?
Yes, everything is always changing. It's very free flowing. And I can't remember the exact number, but it's like over 6,000 something data points that Instagram's computers use to determine how your content gets shown to people. And one of them being how long people are on your post. That's why carousel posts perform really well. That's why reels perform really well, especially if you can loop a reel so you don't know where the ending and where the beginning is. So then someone has to keep watching it. So yes, one of the features that will help boost your algorithm, quote unquote, is how long someone is staying on your platform. So with stories specifically, this is why I teach my clients and really myself, I use this as well, is you want to create binge worthy Instagram stories. You want people to wake up and be like, what is Lucy doing today? What is Emmy doing today? I liken it to having your own Netflix reality show. That's what stories is. It's not scripted. It's not, picture perfect. Yes, have fun with filters because that's a feature that Instagram gives you. But what are you doing every day that is both educational, adding value, entertaining, behind the scenes of your life, that really still is helping your ideal client take one step closer to her goal? And I'll give you one quick example. I actually just posted me making my bed this morning on my Instagram stories. And my husband was like, why did you just take a picture of our bed? You're weird. Like, are you sending this to some random person? I said, no, because my ideal client, she is an entrepreneur who needs to have some discipline and order in her life and set her day up from the beginning to be successful. And there's lots of research on if you make your bed, that you tend to have your day set up for more of a success and more order. And so I want to convey that I'm also living what I'm teaching, but also helping my ideal client on the other end take one step closer to her goal too.
I'm laughing over here because this is audio only, but I am smiling and nodding my head because the same thing just happened with me and my husband yesterday. I'm wearing clear aligners now, and I showed that on my stories. And my husband's like, why are you telling the whole world? The whole point of clear aligners is that you don't see them and people don't need to know about them. But it's part of what I'm going through, and I'm really excited about my transformation. And it's been an insecurity for me. So I'm just being authentic, and it's just me, and I'm excited actually to share.
Yeah, and I love how you say like it was something that you had a journey through and that people can relate. There is someone out there that can relate to what you've gone through and what you're going to currently go through. And that is also one of the great things about social media when done correctly. It's actually a platform to be social, to build connection, to build relationship. And how we do that as humans is through commonalities and differences and our stories. We have to share our stories. So there's actually no, it's on purpose that Instagram named them Instagram stories, because what story are you sharing that someone can relate to? Because at the end of the day, in regards to sales, you can tell I love sales, but it's because it's just a natural part of me. I'm relationship first, but people they don't buy based off of logic. They buy based off of emotion. And if they like you, if they can relate to you, if you're expressing something that they potentially could see themselves going through or have in the past as well, they're your people. They're going to engage with you more. They're going to, raise their hand digitally to be like, okay, I want what you have, or, I want to be a part of what you're doing. And so be okay with sharing some vulnerable things in your life with people on your Instagram. Now, it's not a TED Talk. It's not your diary. It's not a venting session. You want to share from your scars, not your wounds. But that was a really great example of Lucy. It's something that if people don't know what we're doing, like our husbands, they're like, what are you doing?
And it's okay. But you know what? A lot of people are not sharing because they feel like, even I've felt this way before. Like when you're just starting and there's not enough views, why would I go through all this trouble when there's not enough views, right? So how can we increase our story views?
Yeah, great question. And first of all, we all start with 0 views. So reminding yourself that people don't go from 0 to 10K in a matter of seconds. And if they do, I'm guessing they probably purchase those followers, which money hit, don't do that ever for any reason. You want real authentic followers that are here for the content that you're producing because it's adding value to their life. And so in order to increase your story views specifically, you do need to increase your numbers overall. So although I say do not focus on, hitting that elusive 10K mark, you do want to continue to add more people that are your ideal client because it is a numbers game. The more people that you have following you, potentially the more eyes that you have on your stuff. And so your feed is actually where people find you. They find you through shareable content and through hashtags and occasionally on the Explorer page. And then they come to your page, they look at your bio, and that's where they stay because your bio, because you know who you are, what you do, and how you can help them. But then in your stories is where you keep them because, like I said earlier, you're developing that intimacy so they feel like they know you, which I feel like I know Lucy and we just met online, right? And that's because of the content that we're both sharing and sharing more than just business. I was like, yes, I want to be on Lucy's show. She's awesome. And I really have never actually met Lucy until before today. So in order to grow your story views, you do have to reverse engineer and think about the other content that you're creating. And my suggestion for you, and this is another episode for another time, but if I could give a general encouragement to you, is on your feed, the content that you should be sharing should be on brand, or what we like to call in the industry niche content. Honestly, that's just a fancy word for a theme. So 80 to 90% of your content on your feed should be around one thing. When people have an Instagram question, or when they're like, oh, I wonder what the new Instagram feature is, who do you think they come to? They come to me because that's what I'm known for. I'm known as being an Instagram biz expert, and they know that I'm going to be a resource for them to get the information, the tools that they need in order to be successful in their business.
This is so true. I tell my clients, your feed is your business card, right? You go look at your own business card and tell me, do you want to work with yourself? That's very important. I want to be motivational and inspiring to my clients. So on those days when I'm on my low, I would go through my own feed. Does it inspire myself, right? So that's something you want to think about. Since you're the expert here, why not tell us some reasons why people are not making money on Instagram?
I love this question because as much as I am fun and joyful and outgoing, I don't have a lot of time, and I'm not on Instagram anymore. I used to be. I'm not on Instagram anymore just for stress relief. Instagram is a tool for my business. Now, I am going to have fun while doing it because that's, like I said earlier, if you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. But you're not running a hobby. You're not Mother Teresa. This is not a charity. And so I love what you were talking about inspiration, which kind of leads perfectly into this, is for me, I used to be very just only inspirational. I love writing. I love sharing. It's just something that does naturally come to me. But I was getting a lot of people clapping for me and not a lot of people signing up for my programs, purchasing my products, wanting, DMing me to work with me. So you have to figure out in your content, and this is how I actually help my clients with my proven cash method strategy to help them write captions that convert to cash, is that you want to go from inspired content to having your ideal client take inspired action. And really that is the key piece, is a lot of people either are only writing inspirational, look at me type of content, and they're not picking a niche, and they're not speaking to the pain points or the pleasure points, or really to what their ideal client is talking about. Those are the two biggest reasons why people aren't making money. The third reason on Instagram is because you're actually not selling. So for some reason, you're not confident enough to ask for the sale because maybe you have previous hurts or trauma with people sending you cold messages or straight up just being weird. And you're like, I'd never even talked to you. Why are you talking to me like this? But again, you want to educational value 80% of the time. Sales, like you got to ask for the sale and be okay with it. Sales is not a dirty word. Sales is just a transfer of energy and transfer of belief. actually too as well, but you have to be able to ask for the sale and be a great question asker. And so I think a lot of times people just are afraid because of whatever limiting belief they're believing. But if you have something that is going to impact people's lives, you're actually doing them a disservice by not sharing it with them. And Chris Harder has a great quote, because usually this also ties it back to some either like fear of failure, fear of rejection, or fear of even being successful. But Chris Harder, he says, when good people make good money, they do great things. And that's why I love sales and helping women make money in their business, like cashing in on the gram, specifically monetizing what you're already doing on social media, is because you have a purpose and a calling on your life, and you're here for a specific reason, and you need to be able to walk that out. And finances a lot of times helps people walk more and more into their true identity and their true calling on this world.
Absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly with everything you just talked about. And coming from a place of service, right? You have to be sold on yourself and your own services and your own products first in order to really let people feel that on IG.
Yeah, like you're helping people. Like you have to know what you have, if it truly is adding value to someone's life. It's not your responsibility to figure out what that value is, and your area of expertise and your giftings aren't able, you can't compare them to other people's. I'm an Instagram biz expert. Okay. If I was not in a healthy mindset or mind space, I could be like, oh, well, I just help people with their Instagram. Oh my gosh, I'm really making a difference in the world. You know what I mean? No, because really that's just kind of the top layer of the cake. Like that's the icing. But once you take a bite into the cake, there's all these different layers of how you're actually helping someone. It's funny because people think I am just an Instagram business expert, but my mission in this world is to help women unlock their true identities through a healthy lifestyle. Now, I used to be a health coach. I pivoted into doing business coaching and specifically with Instagram. So that used to be quite literal, what I was helping women with. But financial, mental, emotional, all these things that tie into our lives and who we are eternally, that's actually what I love when I have my private one-on-one clients. We get to tap into that because at the end of the day, you are your secret sauce. You're your superpower. Being you, truly authentically you, is what's going to make you feel better. And when you feel better, you do better. And when you do better, you do make cash on Instagram.
So let's give the audience one more tip to generate more leads from IG.
Yes. Okay. So this is a big tip. So we can't go maybe necessarily all the way into it. I know we'll see, but there is a specific strategy in what I like to call digital handshaking or hunting your ideal client, because you should be creating content that is creating curiosity, creating a feeling for people to lean into, to want more of, that they just naturally want to see what you're doing and be a part of it, work with you, etc. But you also do have to, again, put the social back in social media. If you want engagement, you have to go and give engagement. So are you liking? Are you commenting? Are you going and messaging? Are you doing emoji responses in people's stories? Like, are you having conversations with people that you initiated, or are you just expecting that I'm going to post and pray and hope people become my customers and clients or followers? Because that's not, from the expert here, guys, that's not a great strategy. You have to go out and digitally handshake with people who are your ideal client and be interested in them. Don't focus, my friend Jessie says, don't be focused on being interesting, focus on being interested. So be a great question asker. And Money Hit, this is how you do it, is you go to a targeted account, what I like to call someone who's in your niche that's, yes, does have a lot of followers, over 10K at least, because that gives you a bigger pond to draw from, to hunt from. I mean, I'm mixing different animals, but you get what I'm saying, is someone who's doing something similar in your niche. And guess what? That's where your ideal clients are hanging out. That's the proof of concept that the content this person in similar in your niche is creating is that your ideal client wants to and digest. Go hunt them, which means you go click on their profile, see if they're ideal client. If they are, go make a new friend. That's really, at the end of the day, that's really all it is. And so you do have to, I would say, set timers so you don't get in a scroll, so you don't spend tons and tons of time on this specific activity in regards to other, there's so many other things that you should be doing in regards to producing income for your Instagram. But this is going to be one great awesome way that I teach my clients in order to grow and generate more leads and make new friends and ultimately more money on Instagram.
Absolutely. And I love your energy again. And how do you keep up with that energy? Is there a favorite quote that you go by?
Oh man, I mean, how do I keep that energy? Well, I'm drinking lemon water, hot lemon water right now, which I feel like I've heard with Himalayan pink salt is supposed to help naturally with your energy. So, and I take really good supplements, but everything always stems back to my true identity. And for the longest time, I really didn't know who I was. I think that's quite common with a lot of people. And until I discovered that I was a giver of joy, because I'm an Enneagram 3, which is like an achiever. So 3 is an achiever. And so I had to recalibrate my definition of success. And so now I can go to bed at night knowing that I'm successful. If I can look back and say, hey, I brought joy in this area, I was able to bring joy here and be good with it. Now, in regards to energy, I think that's where it comes from. In regards to a favorite quote, I mean, what I told you guys is if you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. Like life is not meant to be, hear my heart on this. 2020 was a crazy year, I think for everyone. It was actually my best and worst year all in one. I had some personal health issues that happened, but my energy and my joy comes from something deeper than a surface circumstance and what I experience on a day-to-day. Really, my faith is what gives me the energy. And my faith tells me that we're supposed to have a life of abundance and a life that we are fruitful in. And so that is something I always tie back to every day in the good and the bad times that helps me show up as Emmy and be here to bring the joy to you guys. And also the awesome Instagram tips, of course.
Yes, thank you for all your knowledge and joy today, Emmy. If you enjoyed listening to Emmy, head over to Instagram now and say hi to her. She's at Hey Emmy. You can't forget her once you've seen her feed. And she has an amazing freebie from which I learned a lot from called Cash Money in Your Instagram Stories. So I'll link that below in the show notes so that you can go grab it.
Yes, I would love for you guys to scoop that up. It's cashinonthegram.com/download, and you will get hooked up with that freebie that is going to help you specifically have your Instagram stories stand out and sell more in a way that is fun and non-spammy and super low tech because
Lucy is super low tech.
yeah. If you like both of us, we're assuming that you're probably low tech too. So you're going to love this.
Yay. Thank you again for being on the show.
So awesome. Thank you. Have an awesome day.
You too.
To all the beautiful souls listening, thank you for joining me on this episode of The Lucy Liu Show. When I'm not podcasting, I am coaching high-achieving women in life transitions, getting unstuck, kissing overwhelm goodbye, and living a more joyful and fulfilled life through strategic goal setting and mindset transformation. It would mean the world to me if you subscribe, rate, or share this with a friend. And don't forget to join me for the next episode. Remember, there is always a way and more blessings are coming your way. For free resources and show notes, head over to lucylucoaching.com.